affected all small businesses in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but there is help to move your business forward. The Virgin Islands Small Business Development Center is available to assist entrepreneurs and small businesses. The VISBDC is the territory's #1 resource for small businesses and is sustained by the University of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. Small Business Administration. The VISBDC is nationally accredited and provides one-on-one advising, business education training, and technical assistance at no cost. Attend workshops by experts from both the public and private sectors. From idea generation to exit strategies, the staff at the VISBDC are ready to assist you. So don't wait. Call, email, or visit them on the web at www.visbdc.org and Facebook, or simply download their mobile app on the Apple or Google Play Store. Just search VISBDC. Discover how they can help your business grow and succeed.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the VISBDC's hosting of the USVI Financial Preparedness Webinar Series. The goal of this series is to financially prepare small business owners to more than just stay afloat and maximize profits through effective financial planning. Let's take a brief moment to recognize our presenter for today. Maxine Fredericks is an exceptional individual with a wealth of experience and expertise, making her one of the most valuable assets in the realm of emergency management and disaster recovery. With a distinguished career as a retired FEMA employee, she has left an indelible mark on the field. At FEMA, Maxine spearheaded critical projects such as the Hurricane Marilyn Virgin Islands Roofing Program in 1995, a resounding success achieved through seamless collaboration with the entire USVI team. Her proficiency as a subject matter expert in grants management programs is unparalleled, having administered, instructed, managed, and mentored these programs across various states. Notably, she demonstrated remarkable negotiation skills, effectively navigating through multiple agencies to facilitate FEMA's administration of the Real ID program. In retirement, Maxine continues to contribute significantly to the community, serving as a program manager for the United States Army Corps of Engineers Annuent program. Her passion for teaching and sharing knowledge led her to become an esteemed instructor at the Emergency Management Institute. There, she imparts her insights on disaster recovery planning to federal, state, and local jurisdictions, public and private organizations, and business owners. Beyond her remarkable achievements in the field of emergency management, Maxine is a multifaceted individual with diverse talents and interests. She is an accomplished author, captivating public speaker, and even a professional bodybuilder and trainer coach. Her dedication to personal growth and physical well-being serves as an inspiration to all. A 48-year resident of the Virgin Islands, Maxine is both a licensed insurance agent and FERNA licensed financial advisor. Leveraging her experience, she generously offers complimentary, no-obligation financial preparedness courses for individuals, families, businesses, and organizations of various kinds, including HUD first-time homebuyers. Her partnership with the VISBDC is a testament to her commitment to uplifting the community that has been an integral part of her life. Maxine sees her work with the VISBDC as a privilege and an opportunity to give back to the people who have supported her throughout her journey to success. As a former client of the VISBDC, she was awarded Innovator of the Year for creative business ventures. Her passion for community service and her profound impact on disaster management and financial preparedness makes her an invaluable asset to the VISBDC community. Come August 2023, currently, when Maxine imparts her knowledge through the training, there is no doubt that it will have a lasting positive influence on who all participate. So just a friendly reminder to put your questions in the chat, and they will be addressed by Ms. Fredericks either in the chat or later during the question and answer segment. A copy of this presentation is available upon email request to info@bispdc.org. And we encourage you after this training to take a few minutes and fill out the survey that lets us know how we are doing. So without further ado, Ms. Fredericks, I'm going to ask you to unmute your mic. The floor is yours.
Good morning. Good morning, Sharika. Thank you for that great introduction. Thank you to the Virgin Islands Small Business Development Council for allowing us to present How Money Works, a conversation that I'm going to have with you today. And I want to thank all of you who took the time today to come and share in this conversation. As Sharika mentioned, put your questions in the chat. We'll try to answer them as we go along. So don't feel like you're a stranger. Just welcome, make yourself comfortable. And I want to be able to share with you some information that someone shared with me that changed my life completely. But before we dive in, I have a question for you. And that question is, how does not having enough money make you feel? Well, I'm going to share with you how it made me feel. I'm also going to share with you the things that happened to me that led me to where I am today. So not having enough money, listen, I retired from the federal government in 2016. And I had been preparing myself before I retired because I wanted to be able to live a very comfortable and fulfilling life. So I did all the things that were supposed to be the right things to do. I did my research. I got mentors. I studied. But you know what? I did not and was not prepared for the unexpected financial downfall that I was going to experience. And that downfall came in after I retired, had done the things that I wanted to do, paid off my home, put money aside for my retirement. I ended up with an enormous amount of business debt. And that business debt turned into credit card debt because that's the way I had to pay for it. So in paying for it, not only that I feel that that was a great burden because that's not something I wanted to do, I also got an audit from the IRS, both federal and state. I ended up with almost $250,000 in debt. I was desperate. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to turn. I was looking for answers everywhere. And I surely had in the back of my mind, hey, I'm going to have to live out my life and my money's going to run out. What am I going to do? I started praying, of course, and I was asking for guidance. I was seeking guidance. What am I going to do? How am I going to get out of this financial mess that I've gotten myself into and at this stage in my life? Well, something very remarkable happened to me, and it turned my entire mindset and my entire life around. What happened was I was at a networking event. And of course, I'm all bubbly and I introduced myself. And inside, I'm really hurting. The next person who introduced themselves was a gentleman sitting right next to me, a gentleman of color. And he got up and introduced himself and said, I'm a financial advisor. And I offer complimentary, no obligation. I said complimentary, no obligation, financial education and advice to people who are interested. And that was the key word, interested. I just could not believe it. I looked down at my journal and it was open to the page where I had written the note asking God to show me what to do, how to get out of this. I was very specific in that ask. I asked if he would show me from the simplest concepts to the most complex financial strategies to help me to learn how to manage my money. I've been in business for years. but no one had ever taught me the financial path to be able to grow my money and to know how money actually works. So I got in contact with the gentleman, and true to his word, he began to teach me how money works, but most importantly, he taught me how money works in the society. So I just want to go back to let you know that in his introduction, he said he had retired himself at the age of 36 from corporate America, and he went into the financial services business. And that really impacted me because at that time, he was probably around 40, 43, 44 years old. So fast forward, he began to educate me on how money works and how to get my money to work for me. But he said, and he continued to hammer this over and over in my head. He said, Maxine, this is your financial destiny. You have to take charge. You have to be committed. You have to be the one that will make the decisions on how you're going to move forward. It's a commitment. This is not a quick or get rich quick scheme. You've got to take the time. You've got to put the energy in it. I was hurting so bad at that moment, I would have done anything because I surely did not want to live my life out and just be a miserable kind of life. So we put together a plan, and that plan was based on my lifestyle. It was based on a plan that I could actually live with as I continued to learn and as I continued to do the things that were necessary to put my financial house in order. And I want to tell you today, I have no credit card debt. I've paid off the state IRS. I do still have $11,000 that I owe to the federal government for IRS back taxes, but I have a very comfortable payment plan. And I plan to pay that off within the next 2 years. As a matter of fact, I plan to pay it off even sooner. And I'm back in business. Not only am I in business, I went into business with my financial advisor because I was so impacted. I was so inspired. I learned so much, and I decided that I was going to dedicate the remainder of my life sharing with others complimentary, no obligation, financial advice, financial education to anybody who was interested. And the key word is interested. So today I want to share some things with you that I've learned in this short period of time that we have. But just remember, you can always get in contact with me. My number is there, 770-688-7812. That's my number. You text me, I'll get back to you. Or you can text my daughter. Her name is Melissa. Melissa is a Virgin Islanders born right here. Her number is 770-733-9654. So I asked you on the beginning, how does it make you feel if you don't have enough money? What does not having enough money make you feel like? So the second question I'm going to ask you is, what would it feel like if you could be financially sufficient, financially free? You could be able to do all the things that you wanted to do. You had a plan, you had goals set, and you were able to meet those goals. Well, I can tell you honestly, I'm in that space. I'm continuing to learn. I'm continuing to share. I'm continuing to move forward. I'm not in that place where I used to be. So today we're going to talk about a couple of things. I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about. First of all, we're going to talk about how money works in our society. And then we're going to talk about how to get your money to work for you. We'll talk about interest rates. I want you to keep in mind interest rates. That's the most important factor. And then we're going to talk about some of the challenges that you have. We're going to talk about how to get higher interest rates because that's what you're looking for. We're also going to talk about, do you have a plan? What's your challenge? What are some of the solutions that you have? And we'll talk about 3 specific things at the end. And that's going to be setting some goals, your planning, and how to get started. So if you're ready, I'm ready. Let's get started. So, we've been taught all of our lives, go to school so that we can get good grades, so that we can go to college, right? Get a great education so that we can make lots of money. But what do we do with that money? Well, this is how money works in our society. You take your money to a financial institution. It could be a bank, it could be a credit union, or it could be some kind of insurance program. So what happens when you put your money in a financial institution? Well, the truth of the matter is those financial institutions take that money right out the back door into the global economy, and they get high interest rates because they have the ability to loan your money, and they put your money back into their financial institution, and they give you very low interest rates. So how many of you know what your interest rate is on your savings account? If you have savings someplace, I encourage you to go and find out what your interest rates are. What are the interest rates on the money that you're earning, on the money that you have in your savings accounts, whether it's a CD, wherever you're saving? What are the interest rates? Do you know what the annual interest rates are? So that's how money works in our society. So the next part of this is, how do you get your money to work for you? Now, I want you, before we get started, to take out your phone, get your calculator up, because we're going to do a little exercise here. And that exercise is going to tell you how your money is working for you now. And we'll talk about how we can get your money to work for you in the future. There's something called the rule of 72. The rule of 72, Albert Einstein is quoted as having said, is the eighth wonder of the world. He says that the rule of 72 is the magic of making money work for you. The rule of 72, you probably heard it before. It's all about compound interest. And it's a very simple formula. I had heard about compound interest over and over and over, but I really did not understand. I didn't comprehend. I'm that kind of person that sometimes I overthink and I go a little too fast. So I was trying to make it out of something else, but it's very, very simple. And here it is. So if you take out your phone, go to your calculator, and I'm going to pull my calculator out right now. And I want you to look at, first of all, take the number 72. You probably can't see, and go to the division sign. And I want you to put in the number 3. The answer you should get is 24. So look at the table that's right here on your screen. The first column has years. The second column has 3%. Those are interest rates. 6% and 12%. Those are interest rates. So if you happen to be 30 years old and you took $10,000, put it in a financial institution, and they said that they were going to guarantee you 3% interest as long as you left that money there, what that calculation just told you when you divided 72 by 3 is that it would take 24 years for your money to become $20,000. So that means now you're 54, you got $20,000. You may say, hey, that's really good. At 78, now you put this $10,000 in because, hey, when I retire, whenever I want to do something, I got this money in the bank, I can go and get it. At 78 years old, you have $40,000. Now, I don't know if you think that's good, but if it's good with you, I want to show you something even better. I want you to go back to your calculator, clear it, put in the number 72, and now we're going to go for a higher interest rate, which is 6%. The division sign, the number 6, and you should have gotten 12. So at 6% interest, your money is growing every 12 years. So $10,000 when you first started at 30, now you're 42, you got $20,000. And then it keeps on going. At 24 years, you got 40,000. And then by 48 years, you got $160,000. That sounds pretty good, right? But let's go just a little bit further, because I want you to really get the essence of this. And remember, I told you that the financial institutions, they go out and they sell your money to other large businesses, and they get 12% interest, but they give you very little interest on your savings. So go back to your calculator, clear it, put in the number 72, divide it, division sign, by 12. And you should get the number 6. And if you look at that chart, now that $10,000 at 36, you've got $20,000. But what I want you to do, follow the arrow all the way to the bottom. So you've left that money in this financial institution who said that they will give you 3% interest. They were actually making 12 off of it. Look at how that money has grown. You now have 2 million. You don't have it. The institution has $2,560,000. You get to keep 40,000 because that's what you agreed to. And they get to keep the $2,520,000. If that does not make you feel bad about how you are treating your money, I don't know what will. So here's the caveat to that as well. Saving with a high interest rate gives you many benefits. On the opposite side of it, when you go into debt, this very same formula works. And I'm going to show you how devastating it could be on your finances. Now, clear your calculator again. Now you've got $10,000, but what I want you to do is put in 72. You're going to divide that by the number 18, because this is usually the amount. If you have pretty good credit, this is usually the interest on your credit cards. So when you get the number 4, so basically what this says is that when you borrow $10,000 or you get $10,000 on credit card debt, if you have an 18%, because this money is, the interest is growing daily. If it's at 18%, what is happening is that you pay the minimum amount on your credit card. And in 4 years, your $10,000 debt is now $20,000. And the ball just keeps on rolling and rolling and rolling. So you're probably asking, where do you get 12% interest? And I'm going to tell you that in just a moment. But I want to tell you the power of education. The power of education, I believe, is to make sure that you could have a well-lived life. This concept is so simple that this is something we should have learned and really learned it and not left grade school until we actually learned it. So if people like myself aren't sharing this information with the other people that you know, how are they going to learn? You cannot win at a game that you don't know. You know, I didn't know what I didn't know, but I thought I knew something. But I'm eager to learn. I was very eager to learn. So now you know how to make your money grow. You know how money works in our society, and you also know how you can get your money to grow. But where do you do that? And that's what we're going to talk about later. Right now, people have been doing this for years. Over 30 years, people have been doing this. So I'm sure you've heard of mutual funds. And I don't know whether you know what they are or not, but mutual funds simply is the gathering of money by many individuals. If you have a retirement program somewhere on your job, or you have one on your own, and you're investing for retirement, this is called mutual funds. So a group of people, they pool their money together, and then they take that money, give it to a professional money manager who takes the money out to the global economy, just like the financial institutions do. And so they're working for you. These people are professionals. They know how to make money work. before I got started in this years ago, I had actually bought some stock. I thought I was doing something. And the minute the stock went down, I'd pull my money out. But I didn't have a financial education, so I didn't know. I didn't have a plan. I just knew that I thought I'd heard about stock and this is what I wanted to do. Mutual funds have been found to be the most effective long-term savings vehicle that there is around. So groups of people pool their money together very much like a partner hand, but with a partner hand, you don't get any interest. You give that money to professional money managers, and some of you are already doing it behind the scenes. You don't even know that this is going on. So that's why it's important to have a financial education. These professionals take the money out to the global economy. They invested in companies like Pfizer, AT&T. I was trying to remember T-Mobile. They invest in companies like Walt Disney, the companies that you see right here. One mutual fund, has over 150 different stocks in it. Now, what is the likelihood of 150 companies going out of business on the same day at the same time? That has never, ever happened in the history of the stock market. Never happened. You know, these are the challenges that we have. So we talked about how money works in our society. I've talked to you about how to get your money to work for you, the rule of 72, how to use it. We talked about where to go and get these high interest rates for yourself. So why aren't we all doing this? What are the challenges that we have? First of all, most of us never get a financial education. No fault of our own, because most of the time it's made to seem like this is a very complex thing. It is not complex. And then second of all, we don't have a game plan. I didn't have a financial game plan. I knew how to make money. I had no idea how to make the money grow for me. And thirdly, I didn't have a financial coach. So when you get sick, your coach is your doctor. So you go to someone else who has the expertise and the knowledge. If you want to get fit, you go and you find yourself a personal trainer. If you want to be a more effective speaker, you find a speaking coach. So the same thing, it matters with your money. So why don't we do these things? Most of all, because none of us none of us plan to fail. We don't plan to fail. But what we do is we fail to plan. And the problem is when you go to a financial institution, you want to get a car loan, you want to get a mortgage, you want to get insurance, all those things. When you go into these financial institutions, wherever they may be, your bank, your credit union, or your insurance company, have you ever walked into one of these spaces and someone said to you, hey, Maxine, come, let's sit down. Let's talk about where you are right now. Let's look at your financial picture, because I don't want you to get this mortgage and then later on, you're not able to take care of it. I don't want you to be in a position where you're just, you're going to fail. That does not happen, because the companies that sell you these products, they are invested in themselves. I want you to be invested in you. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is that you're going to have to find a solution. And so what is the solution? The solution is you getting together with someone who can lay out a game plan for you and help you to find the solutions. I offer complimentary, no obligation, financial education, financial analysis, so that you can be able to reach all of the goals that you want to reach in life. So I call it a financial GPS, because It's where you are, where you want to go, and how do you want to live when you get to where you want to go. This is not a quick rich or get rich quick scheme. It, by all means, it's not. It takes some commitment from you. You have to have a desire and want to do this and have an interest in wanting to do this. So if you're ready to do that, then I want to talk a little bit about, let me kind of back up, and I want to talk about, first of all, go recap. We talked about how money works in our society. I want to do that after each section. We talked about how to get your money to work for you by utilizing the rule of 72 compound interest. We also talked about how you can get your money to work for you like everybody else by, first of all, starting out with mutual funds. And there are many other strategies that can be used as well. And then we also talked about the challenges that people have. We talked about the problem and we talked about the solutions. So the meat of this now is the 3 things that you kind of need to start off with. Most people need to have 3 accounts. The first account you need to have is called an emergency fund. And I'm sure you've all heard you got to have 3 to 6 months of money available to you in the event that something happens. Then you move into what you call your short-term savings. Your short-term savings means that you have that 3 to 6 months in case something happens, and guaranteed when you don't have any money, the law of Murphy always comes into play. When you don't have any money, everything happens. You lose your job, your car breaks down, someone gets sick. It always seems to happen. When you have money, those things seem to happen far and far out. So your short-term saving now, this is where you're getting started to say, hey, I want to be able to purchase a home. I want to be able to get a car. I want to go on a vacation and not bring the vacation back home with me. How would it feel to not have those money worries? And then the last account that you have, this is your long-term account. This is how you want to live and live the way that you want to live very comfortably when you no longer want to have to go to work or you don't want to have to do anything. So those are the 3 accounts that you need. Now in life, there are 2 major risks in life. And the first risk is dying too soon. And none of us know when it's going to be our time. So dying too soon simply means that you're probably at a younger age and you've got a family. You may be 2 breadwinners in the home. You have more debt than you would as you got older. So you need to cover yourself. And you do that by buying insurance. And there are different types of insurance that you can actually purchase. And we will talk about those different types in our later series this month. So you want to be prepared when these major things happen to you. If one person income is missing, that means that the other person is going to have to struggle. So you want to make sure you've covered your home so that in the event that something happens in your early years when you're growing, that everybody in your family will be taken care of. The second risk is living longer than your money lasts. I was there. I knew how it felt. I thought I was going to be over here. But once you're older, you don't need as much insurance. What you need now is cash. You need the cash to be able to carry you through. You need cash because usually your home may be paid off. You don't have as many debts. You don't need as many things as you would have before. So now what you need is cash. So we put you in a position to help you to reach those goals, to help you to get to where it is that you want to get to. So we've talked about how money works in our society. We've talked about how to get your money to work for you. We talked about the rule of 72 the problems that most people have, the challenges they have with being able to save money. And I also talk to you about how to plan and how to get to where you want to go. So that basically is this series on how money works. So we're going to stop now. And if there are any questions, do you have any questions in the chat, Sharika? But before we leave, first of all, I want to tell you that the company that I work with is called Primerica. Primerica is the largest financial services marketing organization in all of North America. The company has been in business since 1977. We're on the New York Stock Exchange. We're listed on the New York Stock Exchange. We have over 4 million insurance clients, and we have over 2 million investment accounts. Now, Primerica does not at the moment sell insurance in the Virgin Islands, but we do have investment that have just opened up in the Virgin Islands. And I would love to be able to work with you if you are interested. And like I said before, you can schedule your complimentary plan with me, no obligation, by either texting or emailing me. Text preferably at 770-688-7812. Are there any questions out there, Sharika?
Not currently. We don't have any questions in the chat.
Okay. Well, that pretty much concludes my presentation for today. I hope that you will come back and join us. Next week, we're going to be talking about budgeting, the importance of budgeting. And then we have 2 more series to follow up on. So I want to thank you all for joining the session today. I hope that you got as much out of this, and I hope it was helpful to you. Thank you, Virgin Islands Small Business Development Council. And we're going to pretty much end our session today. Sharika?
Thank you very much for that, Maxine. So we just want to give a friendly reminder that the VI SBDC has so much more in store for you as VI small business owners. You can visit our website at www.visbdc.org. Download the VI SBDC app on your mobile device from the appropriate app store. Like and follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Google My Business, and subscribe to the VI SBDC YouTube channel for new uploads of our on-demand webinars. I just want to take the time to make a mention of our upcoming activities. So we will be back with this series on budgeting essentials on the 9th, same time, 11 a.m. On the 16th, we're going to focus on debt solutions. On the 23rd, we're going to focus on investing basics and investing at retirement. And to finally close off the series, on August 30th, we're going to dive into retirement savings. So thank you everyone for your attendance today. Please be sure to look out for an email where you will find a survey. We ask you to complete it as soon as possible and let us know how we are doing. And this type of feedback allows for us to continue to host this type of information free of charge to you. So we do have a comment. Ms. Donna Dell commenting excellent information, and she hoped that the younger generations could participate. So thanks to you, Ms. Fredericks, in collaboration with the VI SBDC. Thank you for your comment, Ms. Donna Dell. So without further ado, everyone, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll see you next week. Bye.